Hey, playa, have you ever tried to compliment someone only to have it backfire on you? Maybe you said something simple to them like, "You're awesome, you're pretty, you're beautiful," and they didn't take it that way. Instead, they got annoyed or upset at you for even saying it. Don't worry. In this video, I'm going to break down the three truths behind complimenting, when to do it and when not to do it so that you don't overstep your boundaries and ruin things with the person you're trying to talk to.
This is the Josh Beats. You're watching the Josh Beat.
For those of you that are new here, my name is Josh, and every single week I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. So if you want to learn and grow, hit the subscribe button and make sure to click on the notification bell. Now each of these truths tie into one another, so you're going to want to stick around to hear all three of them to see how they all interlock to make sure you don't keep making the same mistakes you're already making. So let's jump into the first truth here, and that's this. Compliments should be specific to an action. A lot of times people give basic compliments like, "You look really beautiful," or "You're really awesome," "You're really smart." And while those are pretty neutral, pretty okay, I don't think they really help you connect better with that person. In fact, it's the type of thing that anyone can say to that person, so you're not really standing out. But if you instead focus that compliment on an action that they've taken, something that they've chosen to do, it actually makes that compliment way more personal. Here's an example. "Hey, you look super pretty today. Gorgeous." "Wow, you look good. Where'd you get that top? That top is awesome." Looking at those two examples, you can definitely see that the second one is way more personal. You've given the person a chance to tell you about something that they've actively chosen to do. They picked out that top, they like it, they could tell you where they got it, and more. But with the first example, by just giving them a compliment, all you're really doing is creating a space where they could say something like, "Oh, thank you," and then move on. There's no personal connection, there's nothing that ties the two of you together. They can have that same experience with anyone else, so you're not being unique in that equation. The second truth will help answer that question, how many compliments is too many compliments? And here's what I have to say. Over complimenting will always make you look desperate. It's an act of insincerity. If you're constantly giving that person compliments, eventually they're going to start to feel like you're going overboard with it and you're just not really being yourself. Generally, when you compliment someone, you're doing so because you want to show them appreciation. You want them to see that you appreciate who they are or what they've done. But underneath it all, there's always that sense of approval that we're seeking from them. We want them to say thank you. We want them to compliment us back. We want to get some type of response from them that's positive. So what tends to happen when you over compliment someone? Well, their sense of appreciation starts to drop more and more as your need for approval starts to rise. And once your need for approval overtakes their sense of appreciation, they're going to feel like you're not being sincere, you're not being genuine, you're doing it just because you want to hear good words, and it's no longer even about complimenting them. And once that becomes the norm, they're going to start to feel annoyed every single time you compliment them. So what does that look like in a real world example? Well, let's say you're the kind of person that is constantly telling someone, "You're pretty, you're
Gorgeous, you're perfect, I love you, you're amazing, you're awesome."
over and over and over and over again. Those words are just going to fly right past them. They're no longer going to stick. So does that mean you should never give compliments? No. At the end of the day, people are people, and we appreciated being understood and seen by others. Sometimes that comes in the form of compliments. So give compliments, but like I said in the first truth, be very specific when you do. And here comes truth number 3. Now you're going to want to hear me out on this because I want to break this point down for you. Compliments can never replace acts of kindness. You can talk all day long and compliment someone, but being there for them, talking to them in person, having their back, acknowledging them, and seeing them for who they are is going to take you way farther. Listen, I get it. Sometimes it's way easier to just confess your feelings to that person, to tell them how you honestly think. But in doing so, you never really ask yourself, is what I'm saying something they can relate to and they can connect with and something that they feel comfortable responding to? A lot of people leave that piece out of the equation. They focus on what they want to do and never really on whether or not the other person is hearing them. That's why I think compliments can never really replace an act of kindness. You can tell a person all day long, "You're amazing, you're cute, you're this, you're that," but being there to actually have a conversation with them, showing the confidence to walk up to them and ask them how their day is going, looking at them, smiling, showing that person-to-person connection is going to take you way farther with them. Plus, I think most people default to the easiest form of communication, which is texting, and that's how they deliver most of their compliments. But a text compliment is never going to be the same as an in-person one. Think about it like this. Let's say you shoot your crush a text saying, "You look so good in that picture." And at the end, it's an emoji with stars in the eyes, versus walking up to them in school, or walking up to them at work, or in the street, or wherever you see them, looking them up and down, smiling and saying, "Wow, you look gorgeous." Now look, that's not to say sending them that text message won't give them all the feels, but by doing it in person, you're actually adding so many more layers. Your body language, your tone of voice, your eye contact, showing them that you're confident enough to walk up to them. There's a lot of pieces that play on top of you just delivering that compliment. So if you want to maximize your chances of them responding in a real positive way, you do it in person. And while most compliments tend to stay at a very surface level of focusing on their looks, try to think a little deeper as to what you want to compliment them on. Think about the positive things that they're doing. Think about the influences that they have on the people around them. Complimenting them by saying something like, "You seem like a really awesome person because you're so close with your family," or "You're super funny. I see how all your friends light up whenever they're around you." That's going to be a lot deeper and touch them a lot more than just saying, "You look really good today," all the time. I think each of these truths really tie together to deliver a very simple message. When you compliment someone, you're acknowledging who they are. You want to make sure the depth of your compliment is really acknowledging their personality. You want to also make sure that you're not overdoing it by complimenting them too much so they start to feel like it's not genuine. And you want to make sure that your compliment is acknowledging something that matters to them, and you're doing it in a way that you can be confident in your approach, not kind of hidden behind your phone, saying it through a text message. You want to do it in person whenever you can. I'm curious though, what do you think? Have you ever complimented someone and got a response back from them that was kind of lackluster, not really what you wanted or expected? Leave your comments down below and we'll talk about it. I want to give a huge shout out to all my patrons and YouTube channel members. These are the people that help the channel grow. So if you want to learn more about how you can talk to me privately one-on-one every single month, check out Patreon. The link will be up over there. Also, what I want you to do next is to check out the video over there on the side where I go more in depth on giving compliments. This is not just a one and done type of issue, guys. This is something that's important for you to learn more about. So check out the video and I'll catch you guys next time. As always, love and peace.